Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing GT3 League for Project Cars 2, season number 16, round number 6. The doubleheader here at a classic from Belgium. It is Zolder. My name is King Kodiak. It's been a long time since I was last in the AOR box, so I may be a little bit rusty, and I wholeheartedly apologise for that in advance. But we will get this session underway once the lobby host hits the go button, once all our drivers are in place. Now then, let's get the background music on and turn it down before it deafens everybody. Okay, doubleheader tonight. So we are going to have a qualifying session that will form the grid for a 15-minute sprint race, and then after that it'll be a reverse grid. Well, it's a 13-lap sprint race, and then race 2 will be a 26-lap standard race, but reverse grid from the race results of the sprint race. So that's going to be interesting. Reverse grids tend to be chaotic, I think is the fairest way of saying that somewhat. But we will see how well our competitors do. We are loading into the lobby right now. Once we get there, bear with me just a second. I am just making a few last minute adjustments. Like I say, I've been parachuted in a little bit short notice, so I am slightly less prepared than I'd like to be. So like I say, do bear with me whilst I catch up with what is going on. I will get there as quickly as I can. So we're just loading in. Once we have got into the lobby, like I say, it's a 15-minute qualifying session, and then we will go through the drivers, of which there are, and you can hear the engines running in the background. 27 are joining us for this evening. Right, first thing to do, get rid of the music. We don't need that anymore. Get rid of you, and then we need to get rid of that. Okie dokie, let's have a look at who we have got gracing us for this evening. Dynamite Alive is out on track in the multicoloured Lamborghini. Again, apologies for that stuttering that you may see a few times whilst I adjust my windows. Like I say, it's been a while. Strongest Avenger now, he's been doing well in that V12 Aston. It's been, I cannot tell you the last time I saw, woohoo, so that's someone sideways in the Ginetta. Nicely done around turn 3. Or turn 4 rather. I am not even attempting to pronounce these corner names. I cannot remember the last time I saw a V12 Aston in a league. So, and I'm told Strongest Avenger is a very strong contender. Moo is how I'm saying that, in the yellow and black Lamborghini, coming through the turn 5 chicane and nearly taking the nose off the blue Ferrari. That is doing so, which is Nat Nat. Interesting mixture of GT3 cars, also good to see. There's a name I recognise, WMDR Martin. Where are you? Well, the cameraman's looking... Oh, you just come out of the pits, that's why the cameraman was lost. In the white and black Lamborghini. There's also a name I recognise. AS Turbo, is how I always pronounce it. I think AS Turbo is also pronounced as such. What car are you in? That's the Macca. He's in the McLaren. It's great. I mean, last time I did GT3 was very biased towards something, either the Mercedes or the Lamborghini or the Ferrari. It's great to see such a mixture of cars. Love it. Alan, now you have this man to thank for me being in the box, or to criticise, depending on how well I do and how much I am to your taste, etc., etc. He's in one of the Mercs. He's in the AMG or the SLS. I'm not very good at distinguishing them, but he's got a lot of traffic around him. I think that's the AMG. Oh, there's the blue Ferrari again. There's Nat Nat coming out again. Who else have we got? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Fubar in the Renault. Very nice. Welcome to you, Anton, Mercedes. That distinctive roar that the Merc unit has. Zolty, I think that is pronounced. Are you in the Porsche? You are indeed, sir. In the Porsche. Lumi, I'm going to go with. Again, apologies if that is incorrect. You're in a multicoloured Lamborghini. Someone's dropped from the session. Hopefully they will be able to reappear. Really? You're giving me the name The Kinky to read out? Well, that is what you are so called. In the Audi, the Thrustmaster livery, that is a good livery. I do like that colour. Trip, yes, I remember you. Black and red Lamborghini for you. Stefan Le Carrier, what a name. In the lemon Lambo as well. Joe Gerg, yes, that's a name I recognise. Now I hear you're in the Ginetta. You brave, brave man. As the times start to come in. Oh, no, that's a name. Koronic. I'm going to go with that. In the Audi as well. Also the Thrust. Is that the Thrustmaster livery on you as well? It is indeed. Niederlap. Nice. Like it. In the Lamborghini. Has got himself a speeding in the pit lane penalty. Cameron. Lemon Lambo on you. It's difficult to tell from that camera. Oh no, he's the green Merc. The green Mercedes. Last time I did GT3 League racing as a driver, I used that chariot as well. Atomic, also in the lime green Mercedes. We've lost another from the rank, unfortunately. Oh no, whoever it is has just reappeared. I'm not going to pronounce this correctly, I'm pretty sure. Burger France, something like that. I'm going to go with that. Also in Mercedes, fair amount of representation for the Mercs. Anton, we've seen in the white Merc, as well as Atomic. Luke, I'm sure I can live with that name, in the black and white and red liveried Audi. Someone's having connection problems. Oh, that wasn't the name I was aiming for. Oh, Dynamite Alive that has yet to get the time on the board. Strongest Avenger in the Aston. Up the top at the moment with a 130.324. Unfortunately, I didn't get time to check on the championship standings before getting into the box. So let me just have a look at that. So at least I know who I've been pointed to have a look. But at least if I have the championship standings nearby, I have half an idea on how well people are doing. And Dynamite Alive that is our championship leader, who's yet to get time on the board. Oh, steady. There's a lot of wriggling around. I'm assuming you're warming tyres up in the Lamborghini, otherwise you really chuck that car around. Strongest Avenger is second in the championship, only by 17 points. This is the halfway stage halfway point in the season. And Lumi is third, Jogok fourth, Alan fifth, Moose sixth, Trip seventh, Turbo 8, Andrax, who I haven't read his name out because as I was going through the list he said a time. There he is. Also riding the mighty Merc. Up in 5th position on the grid, 31.636. Andrax in 9th, and Speedy Go, who I haven't seen in this list. And someone has just reappeared. It's Zolder has returned to the session. Strongest is getting out of the way for one of the Thrustmaster flavoured Audis. Sorry, again, just keeping an eye on Windows, making sure that everything's working. Please make yourself known in chat as well. We're good to have you along for the ride. So let's have a quick rundown as we are about halfway through the qualifying session now. Remember, this is for the first race. This is for the sprint race of 13 laps. And the grid for the feature race is reverse grid form from the results of the sprint race. Do bear that in mind. Strongest Avenger holding on to that top spot. No one has yet dethroned him. Jogok in that Ginetta. Oh, nice. Lovely slide around turn 2. This track should be fairly decent with the Ginetta indeed. It's not got a lot of straight line speed in comparison to its fellow GT3 brethren. Ooh, Jogok using every available inch of track. That's right on board with him as he's gone through turn 4. Now coming up to 5. Oh, chucks it in. My goodness me. Bounces around off the apexes. Over the crest, down through turn 6. Into this turn complex that is turn 7, which encompasses 4 apexes. That's 2 of them. There's a third. Keep it steady. And that is classified as turn 7. over the crest, non-numbered turn there, would you believe, and then down to turn 8. Jogek is only a 10th and a half off the back of Strongest Avenger at the moment. Through turn 8, through the Jochen Arlinte box, which is turn 9, the chicane, now up to the chicane that is classed as turn 10. We've been joined by another. We'll have a look at who that is. Does Jogek improve? Over to the right hand side. No improvement for Jogek at the moment, and it was there's Speedigo, who I mentioned, in who's being in the top 10 at the moment. Jogek finished first in both social races here last night. Thank you for that, Mashup Matt. So we're back up to 27 now. No time on the board yet from Zolty, but he has been having some technical trouble. He's our lone Porsche, I think. I haven't seen another Porsche around there. And Strongest Avenger has improved on his time. A 1:30.2 is reaffirming his spot at the top of the tree. Again, the sole runner in the V12 Aston. Over the line for Zolty. No time set, so he is just starting his lap then. Where are the Lambos? They're everywhere, quite frankly. Oh, Zolty, that was very close to an invalid lap time on the exit of turn 1. I think does manage to keep himself going. Nicely done. Just 4 seconds top to bottom at the moment of the set times. Around turn 4 for Zolty. It's only one of only 2 drivers yet to get the time of the board. There is Strongest Avenger in the background, the distinctive V12 Aston. Oh, and again, a fair amount of curb there. It's tricky to take that chicane at a high amount of pace. It is very small. It's called the Kleiner chicane in the first place. Into the turn 7 complex. Oh, wow. Now that second apex there is cambered. So what Zolty's trying to do is just use the camber to rotate the car a bit more. And, well, kind of worked. Down towards turn 8. Porsche nice and under control, which he does. Through 9, there's the Renault. I confess I've forgotten who's in it. Still keeping his foot flat to the floor. And the Aston, you can see in the background, giving it a bit of a wiggle. That looks a little deep into the chicane for turn 10. And over the line, what does he get on the board? It is a 31.5. Jumps him up to 8th position. Very, very nicely done. Who shall we have a look at? Tony Clifton, a name I didn't read out. In a white and green Renault. Welcome to you. There's another name I missed as well. Gwegwin. Now, last I believe I commented on Gwegwin was in the endurance side of things. What is Gwegwin in? Is it a Bentley? It is! I've just realised it says Bentley under the rear wing. Oh, wow. We really have got a very wide-ranging representation of the entire GT3 field. Great stuff. There's another McLaren in the background that I don't remember seeing a white one, so that's someone I've missed. Oh, there's a name I didn't read out. Zenzik, welcome to you. What are you in? That looks like an Audi to me. So 10th on the board, 31.863. Where is our current pole man? There he is. Second in the championship. Where is the leader of the championship? There he is, Dynamite Alive. Oh, wow, that looks a little bit scraggly. That's the problem with that turn 5 chicane, is that you either get it really nicely or it looks horrid. That's Dynamite Alive still going. Again, the car getting a little twitchy through that cambered right-hander. Left-hander, rather. It was right from here. So welcome to those in chat. Glad to have you along for the ride. Strongest Avengers jump back to the pits. That's probably his day done. Yep, that'll be his day done then. He will not improve from a 30.2. He did improve again. Oh, I was getting a little busy. It's getting very, very busy here. The orange McLaren is chasing Dynamite Alive over the line. 2 minutes to go into the checker flag 4. Does Dynamite Alive improve? No, he remains in 7th position with that 31-0. There's Alan. He's not in the Bentley, he's in that black Merc. It is coming towards the camera at the moment. Strongest Avenger has come back out. Oh, he should have time to actually make it to the line. To start one more flying lap. I thought he might call it a day, but no, he's not resting on his laurels. He's looking to improve on that time even further. Yogurt is second, Moo in third in the yellow and black Lambo. You are going to have to move it to get to the line in time to start another one. Burger France. That's as close as I'm going to get to that pronunciation. I keep thinking that's damage on the front left of that Merc. It's not, it's the livery. That is going to catch me out more than once. That's turn 8 and 9 that we've just gone through, down towards the line. Does Burger France improve through the final chicane? Oh, twitchy on the exit. 1:30.7 the current set time, and no improvement as yet. 1 more minute to go. Lumi is out there in 5th, 1:30.942. Alan is only 0.03 of a second behind in 6th. Then it is Dynamite Alive in the Technicolor Lamborghini. Through the final turn, there's that orange McLaren roaring his way over the line. Let's see, 1:31.066. Is there an improvement this time for Dynamite Alive? No. Zolder, from having lots of disconnection problems, I think he's still the sole Porsche runner. He's in 8th position. Andrex in 9th in the Merc. There he is, hiding behind the scoreboard. 1:31.580 his time. Oh, again, it looks horrid from the outside of that chicane, but you either take it steady, so it's comfortable, or you take it quickly. There is really no halfway house. Speedy Go in the Ginetta, the second one of the two. Did not improve. 31.860. His day is done. Zenzik in 11th and Tripp in 12th. Fubar in the purple Renault crossing the line. 1:31.983. Does he improve? He improves indeed. He does. He found a 10th and about 5 positions by doing that. What is the track temperature? I'm afraid I don't know. Is the honest answer to that. I didn't look at what the season, what the time of day was before we jumped in. Entirely honest. Like I say, I was a little bit parachuted in at last minute. As Turbo is in the orange McLaren, just coming to the final turn. It's weird, considering how loud that McLaren is, you don't hear it till it's there. 1:32.016. Does he improve? He does not. A lot of people back into the picture. What about Gwegwin in the Boatley? Oh, again, that looked from this angle to be deep into that chicane. I think that's where the camera is. It does not bode well for that particular chicane. Over the line, 33.082 does not improve. Remains in 22nd position. Here comes Luke in the Audi. Number 33.1. So doesn't becomes 1:32.819, and I didn't even get through everybody. Right. Strongest Avenger in the V12 Aston, no less, on the pole spot with a 1:30.1. He improved on his final lap. Dear God, man, have a heart. Give these guys a chance. Yogurt in the Ginetta in 2nd position. Moo 3rd. Burger France 4th. Lumi 5th. Alan 6th. Dynamite Alive 7th. Zolty 8th. Andrex 9th. Fubar 10th. Speedy Go 11th. Zenzik 12th. I'm still getting this wrong. Kiranik, I'm assuming. In 13th. Tripp 14th. S Turbo in 15th. Nat in 16th. Tony Clifton in 17th. Cameron in, beg your pardon, Stéphane Le Carrier in 18th position. Then Cameron in 19th. Actually, we may as well go to the chase cam for the start. Ooh, that looks rather grey. Luke in 20th. The Kinky. Yeah, childish brain's going to make me giggle at that one, I'm afraid. In 21st, and then Tom in 22nd. Gwegwin, 23rd. VX Vitronel, that's a name I didn't even read out. Apologies there. You're in that second Renault by the look. That's not going to help me tell me that. No, that's the white McLaren. I beg your pardon. In 24th. WMDR Martin in 25th. Atomic in 26th. finally need a lap in 27th. Well, well, well. So then, it is a 13-lap sprint race, as the order of which we have just decided. And I will always read the sponsorship on the wing of the Ginetta as Teapot, because that's the way my brain works, I'm afraid. So the Team Teapot Ginetta in second position. 27 drivers. This should be interesting. And as a reminder, the reverse grid is formed from the results of this race. So whoever finishes last is going to be the pole man next time around, unless they do not finish at all. If they don't finish at all, they start at the back. So we will see. Strongest Avenger may well have had the strongest lap, but we will see if that is going to translate into a victory once again. Strongest Avenger won the opening 2 rounds of this season, but has not seen the top step of the podium since. 2 wins to Strongest Avenger and 2 to Dynamite Alive puts those two very, very close at the top of the tree. And then Lumi has a win and has been on the podium for every round except for the last one at Austria. So there's plenty of fighting to be had at the top of the table. Never mind about that. It is time to get this race underway. Wind them up and let them go. Oh no, a terrible start from the Lamborghini. That was Moo, who's going to fall a long way down the field. Streaming towards the camera now. Strongest Avenger's got Yogurt on the inside. Who is going to be bravest on the brakes? Who is going to outlive this one? Yogurt got alongside the Aston Martin. Coming down towards turn 2. He's going to be hung out to dry, unfortunately, on the outside. Yogurt 2. Bugafran's up to 3rd. Oh, the Ginetta's trying to cut back underneath. Look at the gap the top 2 have got already to everybody else behind them. Dynamite Alive all the way up to 3rd. Nice. What a start. Bugafran's down to 10th. Something's gone horribly wrong for his start. But goodness me, there's no way I'm going to be able to look at everybody. Aston leads, Ginetta leads, Lamborghini, Dynamite Alive and Lumi. The technicolored Lamborghinis come through the field. Through the fish. I mean, you can barely hear me over the roar of all the GT3 engines. Then it is Alan up into 5th position in the black Mercedes, being chased by Zolty. Andrex is going to couple off the start. There's going to be so much fighting, but look at, I can't believe this. Look at the gap that these two have over everybody else. It's 1.5 seconds. We haven't even done a lap yet. Oh, it's touch of the grass there from the Aston. You saw Yogurt had to get out of the slipstream, and for some reason my game is stuttering. I apologise for that. There's nothing I can do about it right now. It's just going to have to stutter, I'm afraid. Field, of course, very closely condensed. If I get a chance to look further down the field, I will look. But there's penalties on the board already. Oh no, where's the? Oh, I thought the Ginetta disappeared. He was actually hidden behind the Aston. I know the Ginetta's small. I didn't think it would fit in the pocket of the Aston Martin. Top 2. Strongest Avenger and Yogurt. Yogurt still trying to hassle the Aston. Dynamite Alive has broken free of Alan a little bit. A little bit of a gap there. Lumi in 5th position in the Lambo. The tail getting a bit loose. And there is Salty and Andrex side by side coming through turn 2. Merck on the outside, Porsche on the inside. Andrex has to relinquish that particular attempt. Speedy Go in the second, Ginetta in 8th. Moo is down to 9th position. Oh no, someone sideways. Who was that? Can't click on the name, he keeps falling. Oh no, it's Koronik. Koronik down to 25th. Luke has had trouble. And already Kinky is in the pits. A terrible, terrible start for him. Gap up front still, 1.5 seconds between the top 2 and the chasing pack as Yogurt has had a good run through the complex of turn 7. Can he get on the inside? Can he get ahead of the Aston? He's out the inside with the next couple of corners side by side on the way down to turn 8. He's going to have the inside, but has he got the braking efficiency to do it? Still side by side, the tail of the teapot. Ginetta gets a bit loose and bounces off the Aston, and still Strongest Avenger is hanging on to lead. But that's the view from Alan. He's in 4th position as he has come on board with Dynamite Alive. The strong championship contenders are now together, separated by less than a second, the top 3. Aston leads Ginetta, leads Lambo, leads Merck as they come over the line once again. Lumi in 5th. Zolty 6th. Oh, look at this pack here. And Speedy Go has overtaken Andrex for 7th position. That was someone coming out of the pits. That's assumedly, yeah, it is indeed the Kinky. We just saw the top of the wing over the top of the barrier. It looks like Lumi he's kind of staying in touch with the top, isn't he? And again, this is the view from Yogurt's perspective and how much he's been chasing that Aston. You can see the Aston's just beginning to stretch his legs a little bit on that straight, but then Yogurt just reels him into the corners. But, you know, there is not where he's going to really gain an awful lot of time. Through down towards turn 7 again. There's not an awful lot of gap between Yogurt and Dynamite Alive due to the fight. I mean, look at the amount of time that Yogurt's lost. I mean, look at the penalty gap. Look at that. 2 for Yogurt, 2 for Dynamite Alive, 4 for Alan, 2 for Zolty, 2 for Speedigo. There's a lot of positions that will be decided by penalties alone. But with all the defending that Strongest Alive's had to do, he is remaining in the lead and penalty free as well. Look at that. Top 5, top 10 pretty much in that shot. Again, apologies for the stuttering. I don't know what's causing it. But didn't have a chance to optimize my settings for this evening. I do know what it is. I just remembered what it is that's causing it. But I will get it fixed for the feature race. In order for me to fix it, I would need to actually halt the stream slightly. But don't particularly want to do that, as we have got such a great pack going on here. Go further back, there's Burger France, now in 11th position, keeping Fubar company. Andrex is now down to 9th. He's lost another one to Moo, who had that horrific start in the Lamborghini. Let's go a little bit further down. There's WMDR Martin in a great big battle on his own. On his own? What am I talking about? Of his own with Nat. Oh, that's the Ferrari off. That's Nat that's gone off. Oh, excuse me a minute. That stuttering is doing my head in. Apologies for that as we continue to look at this battle. Apologies. Oh, Nat's gone off the road. He should be able to get back on again. But he is still going. Hopefully this doesn't kill the game. What I'm just trying to do. Hasn't sorted the stuff, unfortunately. Back up to the top, as you can see by the proximity markers on the left-hand side, that there's so many battling going on. It's always difficult for me to know where to look. Let's look a little bit further. Oh, yeah, okay, I thought we'd had a change of lead. The Ginetta now leads the Aston. So Yoga, whilst I was looking at the rest of the field and trying to sort out this damn annoying stuttering that's still going on. Oh, the Aston's getting very quickly coming through turn 1, and that's allowed. That's Dynamite Alive that's gone through. Again, the tail of that Aston does not want to behave itself at all. Does he have damage that we can't see? Someone's gone off the road. It's Salty. I don't know, it isn't Salty. It's Lumi. Lumi's gone off the road. Can't click his name. He keeps moving. There he is. Cameraman needs to be fired. There he goes in the tender-coloured Lamborghini. But Yogurt, because the Aston is now fallen a little bit further, now leads the way by 1.5. Well, he had 1.5 seconds behind him anyway, but he had his face full of Aston. Now, the Aston's defending against the Mercedes of Alan. Great effort here. Porsche of Zolty is just behind him. He's got a fair amount of actually free air, fore and aft. The Merc is all over the tail of the Aston. Something must have happened to... Well, he's certainly got a penalty on the board, so he's been off the road somewhere. Look at that. Everyone in the top 7 has a penalty. Andrex, keeping his usual record of keeping out trouble, has no penalty on the board. In 8th position, chasing Speedigo in the second Ginetta. Yoga crosses the line once again to complete lap 5. 13 laps in this race, as you can see at the top. Alan continuing to put the pressure, or keep the pressure I should say, on the Aston. That Aston is all over the place. How on earth did you get any pace out of that car at all? I'd be terrified of it. When you're having to put that much opposite lock into a turn, that cannot be good. And he's lost another spot. Well, he hasn't done yet, but he will be. Side by side. Oh, wow, strongest Avenger. Oh no, he's off the road again. Again, just slid that a little bit too far wide. That's going to allow Alan up into 3rd place. Consistency is not with Strongest Avenger tonight. I do wonder whether maybe he's hit something. He's got damage on the car. Really can't tell from here. Let's look at Fubar, who's at the back of this particular train of Zolty, Moo, Speedigo, Andrex, and of course himself. Burgerfans isn't actually that far behind. But Yogurt is having a great old run up front. Now 2 seconds to the good in the Ginetta. I was told that this track would potentially suit the Ginetta a bit more than some of the others. Oh, there's the Boatley. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, it isn't Kinky because I know I've forgotten who's in it. Is it Gwegwin? Yeah, it's Gwegwin. Oh dear, race not gone well for you, or it's not gone well for Luke either. Need a Lambo's down there somewhere. He is in the Lambo chasing one of the radioactively coloured Mercs. There is Strongest Avenger now down to 4th position with what looked like not necessarily an assured victory, but certainly, you know, was able to defend against the Ginetta for quite a few laps. It does look like he seems to have lost his, well, judging by the lap times, if the lap times alone were to be believed, then the Aston's still well in the running, but it just means people have added to their penalty. 7 seconds for Yogek now. Goodness me, this top pack is just going to completely reshuffle well after the flag has gone. And Atomic is in the pits. Oh dear. Well, you can see from that picture the bonnet is not straight. So Atomic has had an argument with something pretty solid. Coming back up to the front once again. There goes Yogek out of the shot. Dynamite alive! Ooh! Got that all wrong coming through the middle of turn 7. And Alan actually clung to the back of the Lambo, had nowhere to go. And actually, Strongest Alive has dropped Zolty a bit. That doesn't really mean anything. We'll go on the cockpit view and we'll just see how much Strongest Alive is having to fight that Aston. On a track that wasn't naturally suited to the Aston, there's no big straights here. This is not a very good example of how much he's going to have to fight it. Oh, there, look at the amount of left he's having to turn to go through a right-handed bend. Absolutely mad. Well, he's getting a workout. He won't need to do any exercise after this race, I'd have thought. The amount of canister he's having to do in the Aston is just unreal. This pack's broken up a bit now. Fubar's a little bit off the back of Andrex, but still keeping in touch with the Mercedes, who in turn is keeping the second Ginetta in check. Zolty and Moo are still pretty close together. The battle for 5th position continues between the Lamborghini and the Porsche. A little bit further back, Bigger Franz a little bit on his own now in 10th place. That isn't him, that's him. These cameramen really do need shooting. Lumi side by side with is indeed Tony Clifton in the white and green Renault, keeping the technically loaded Lamborghini in check, or the second one. Trip. It's got space fore and aft. It's pretty much equidistant between Tony Clifton and Zenzik. Oh no, that's Stéphane Lecarrier that is in the pits. Another one visits the pits. Now, from what I understand, it is not a mandatory pit stop here. There is a Vitra chasing Kierannik. We saw Kierannik facing the wrong way early on. Another battle we didn't really see earlier. Anton, Cameron and Nat. Ferrari and 2 Mercedes respectively. Going back up through the field. Kind of go through the order the wrong way. There's AS Turbo chasing WMBR Martin. 2 veterans of the AOR scene, who in turn are chasing Zenzik. I think it's Zenzik. It is indeed. So Audi, Lambo, McLaren in that particular pack. Still so many positions still to decide, but a lot of it's going to be down to penalties. But that's the nature of some tracks are just penalty magnets. We all know this. Ooh, keep the Renault in check. But that's part of GT racing, isn't it? Is that you've got to push the limits hard to get the best lap time out of the combination you are, or the combination you're running. Fubar gets a great run through that turn 5 chicane. Closing in a little bit on Andrex before they come to the turn 7 complex. Oh, there's a back marker. The Bentley's in the middle of that. Oh, Fubar's in trouble. He's had to back off. He probably got a slowdown warning that he didn't fancy taking the penalty for. And that's put Bugafrans right on his case. And the lime green Merc on the outside coming down towards turn 8. Can't get the move done. The tail gets a bit loose. But it keeps going nonetheless. Look at this lot. Absolutely fantastic. There's Andrex on Speedy Go's case. And Bugafrans is making a move on Fubar, thinking about it into turn 10. You can do it, but you just need to be a lot more alongside than that to complete the move. Still battling going on. There's that three-way fight we looked at earlier. Well, I tried to look at all of them earlier. Zenzik, WNDR Martin, and AS Turbo. The Audi, Lambo, McLaren combination. Behind them, Nat and Cameron. They've lost one of their stablemates. Because that was a three-way fight last time we looked at it. There's another one in the pits, is Enton. Oh no. The white Merc is having to put his pit crew to the test. Now Bugafrans, well actually it's Fubar that's caught to the back of... Yeah, they've lost one from their particular pack. I'm not going to attempt to... Hang on. Oh no, I thought he was Strongest Avenger for a second. No, he's still there in 4th. Fifth, Speedy Goes. They have lost one. Oh, was it Enton possibly? That's fallen from their ranks. Oh! That's a back marker. That's the radioactive coloured Mercedes. Reshaping radioactive coloured Mercedes of that. Getting out of the way of the lead cars coming through. That looks like Alan thinking about a move on Dynamite Alive. Couldn't quite get alongside enough. And Yogurt's just having a good old time up front, but Yogurt's got a big penalty count to overcome. So he's either going to have to hope that those behind him get into trouble, or that he can just get the hammer down. Still Alan in the 3rd position, chasing Dynamite Alive at the moment. Great effort for Alan. Moo trying to keep Strongest Avenger Company in 4th position. Three-way battle, Speedy Go, Andrex and Zolty. Andrex has been nailed to the back of that Ginetta for absolutely ages. But Andrex he's a wise old fox, is Andrex. He might just stay there and let the penalty count sort the top positions out. With almost half the field have got penalties at this stage. Fubar in 9th, Lumi 10th with... Oh, that's Bugafrans and Tony Clifton side by side from the small chicane. Through turn 6, Bugafrans can have the outside for the long left-hander, but can he outbrake the Renault into the turn 7 complex? Not quite. That was close. He didn't want to risk basically going off and building sandcastles into the depths of turn 7, because it takes forever to get out of there. Whilst we look at Zolty, who chases Andrex and Speedy Go, let's have another quick look at the penalty count. 7 for Yoga, 4 for Dynamite Alive, 8 for Alan now, 2 for Strongest Avenger and Moo, 3 for Speedy Go, and Andrex sitting pretty in 7th position with no penalties to his name. Well, he will certainly gain the position from Speedy Go as we cross over the line to begin the penultimate lap. Yoga's got that's Enton ahead of him. I'm sure Enton will happily jump out of the way of the race leader. Alan getting a lot of wheel spin, but that's giving Dynamite Alive, keep saying Dangerous Alive, Dynamite Alive a bit more of a leeway. 3 seconds back to Strongest Avenger now, who's been chased hard by Moo. I wonder if Strongest has had a mistake somewhere. Moo is right on his tail. This three-way battle really hasn't dissipated whatsoever. Andrew is still nailed to the back of that Ginetta. Considering I'd completely lost sight of one of the Ginettas behind the Aston earlier on. The little car has got a lot to offer for this track, as that's the radioactive Merc getting very much on the grass. Not sure who that is. Oh, this could get messy. Backmarker's going to have to get out of the way. Well, they don't have to, but they'll have the eye of the drivers, and a penalty, I am sure, Oh, please be aware there's lots of them around you. Oh, that could get very messy if he doesn't get out of Zolty's way, and Zolty's been put off. I don't think that Merck realised just how many leaders there were there. As Fubar and the Renault goes through into 8th position, Zolty will not be pleased about that. Final lap of the sprint race here at Zolder. Jogurk has had this under control, but he has not quite overcome his... well, no, he has. There's a 3 seconds difference in the penalty count between Dynamite Alive and Jogurk, and there's 3.5 seconds on track, but that could change in the... in a heartbeat. We know how easy it is to lose these GT3 cars at a track like this. Thank you, Damien. That's very kind of you. Second and third still very, very close. Alan is really pushing hard to try and overcome Dynamite Alive. And Alan's got a lot more penalties on the board, so I think maybe we'll just stay there and try and stay in the tyre tracks. Andrex is, well, with the back marker getting in the way, Zolty is back up into 8th position now, ahead of Fubar, but he's not going to get close to Andrex to challenge for that spot. But here comes Jogurk to take the win on track, as that's a Lamborghini just not wanting to do another lap. So your winner here in Zolder for the sprint race is going to be Jogurk, but that he is going to shuffle around, or is it? No, it does not. Dangerous Alive rams the car into... oh, that's a very sideways. Well, Strongest Avenger is elevated up into 3rd position due to penalties. That's Alan 4th. Moo in 5th. Speedy Go crosses the line in 6th. Buzz loses that 6th to Andrax. Zolty in 8th. Fubar 9. They're all crossing over the line. Lumi is elevated into 8th position. So Zolty 9. Boogerfrans gets 10th position. Fubar 11. They're still coming over the line. Trip in 12th. Tony Clifton 13. WMDR Martin in 14th position. Zenzik was in there somewhere. It's just been that 15th taken over by Az Turbo in the McLaren. There is Zenzik. Well, he's in there somewhere. In 16th position, Cameron takes 17th in the Merc. And Nat in the Ferrari. This cameraman is useless. Let's go to that one. No, let's go to the chase cam. Kirinik takes 19th. Vita at 20. Luke is still coming up to the line in the Audi. I suspect, is he the last? Nope, we still have others on the lead lap. There is Luke to take 21st in the Audi. Need a lap in 22nd. Anton has already crossed the line. And that should be the end of it. There we go. So the positions as they stand without any steward's intervention is as well as Jogurk taking the win. Then Dynamite Alive 2nd, Strongest Avenger 3rd, Alan 4th, Moo 5th, Andrex 6th, Speedy Go 7th, Lumi 8th, Zolty 9, Boogerfrans rounding out the top 10, Fubar 11, Trip 12, Tony Clifton 13, WMDR Martin 14, Az Turbo 15, Zenzik in 16th, Cameron 17, Nat 18, Kirinek 19, Vita 20, Luke at 21st, Needlelap 22nd, Anton 23rd, Atomic 24th, Gwegwin 25, The Kinky in 26th, and Stefan Lecarrier with that very late pit stop in 27th. And last, goodness me, that was pretty hectic. Whew. Right then, there's going to be a little while to set up for the feature race, so don't go anywhere because race number 2 will be with us as soon as we can. So sit tight and we'll be back with you as soon as we can. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for race number 2 for this evening, the feature race for round number 6 here at Zolder. Now, first thing, worth of note, they've left the qualifying on. So I don't know whether they've decided to run a second qualifying session or whether we're going to rehost it, or the qualifying is just going to be completely academic in the first place. Don't know. Oh, Showkirk getting his Tokyo Drift on, coming through turn 2. Nicely done, or turn 3 rather. Now, I've been joined in the commentary box by someone that is very kindly digging me out of the hole that I've got myself into. Mashed Up Matt, welcome to you.
Good evening, Godiak. Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry I'm a bit late to the party, but after watching that first race, we are in for an absolute cracker, I think, in this feature race.
Aren't we just? Right, you're more familiar with this particular lineup than I. Who do you think we're going to be looking forward to in the feature race?
Well, if it is definitely going to be that reverse grid, then really we got a similar situation to what we had in Austria last week. A lot of the fast guys coming through. Yogurt was very strong in that first race, and as I mentioned earlier, if caught me in the chat, he did win both the social races, so the Ginetta is looking particularly strong here, and with the championship as open as it is, he could really propel himself into this fight.
It's very close up top. I was actually quite surprised Strongest Avenger started so strong, and it seemingly just fell away. Now, that Aston is a monster of a car to drive. It is very difficult. We saw the amount of opposite lock, and Jogok is also displaying how much opposite lock is just going on. I think he's just having a lot of fun out there at the moment. But you know, once the Strongest Avenger has won a couple of rounds here, but consistency doesn't seem to be his thing.
Well, we were watching his race last week, and admittedly it was in the wet and it was at the A1 ring, but he does like to have the rear end of that Aston Martin very loose, and he made pretty good use of it last week. But it just seems as if that maybe He just hasn't quite got that setup working as he would like to. Perhaps he set it up more for qualifying than the race. But again, he finished on the podium, and it's very close because those two Lamborghinis, you're looking at the likes of Moo and Dynamite Alive, where if we go back to the race at Long Beach, the pair of them won races there as well. So it's a very tight championship fight, and you know, with the, as you are probably well aware of, these GT3 cars are very well, they're inconsistent when it comes to the different tracks that they perform at. So I think for Strongest Avenger, I think he tries to start as far up the grid as he can and try and muscle a result out of that car, because I don't think this track suits it particularly well.
No, I didn't really expect the Aston to be a bit of a performer, but my goodness me, Strongest Avenger showing that he can wrestle that thing into positions it was very, you know, you wouldn't normally expect. Alan as well, particular mention for Alan, who I don't think has had a good results, but not, he hasn't won yet. He has been on the podium, was right up there, really challenging for those podium spots in the first race.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with Alan, he's been one of the most consistent scorers. You know, I think his lowest position has been 7th in that Mercedes. He's been very, very strong. But yeah, he's just knocking on the door of those podium positions at the moment. Basically, it's such a close fight. If you look at all the drivers that have won races so far, you're looking at, you know, Dynamite Alive, your Strongest Avenger, Lumi's won a race, and now Yoga can add his name to that as well. And Moo as well, you know, in the other Lamborghini, he's won a race. He won very impressively at Long Beach when he actually beat the two of Lumi and Dynamite Alive, the teammates. So there's plenty of drivers out there that have got, you know, potential to win this race. But I think just based on the characteristics of this Zolder circuit, I can't look past Yogurt. But the best thing about these sprint races is that we actually get to see these fast guys trying to make their way through and how do they cope with the traffic.
Yeah, totally. Oh, wow, that's a great camera shot there. Lumi's car was invisible on my screen. As this, I think it's, I'm not sure if this is a quality session or a practice session, but it was only set to be 5 minutes. So the grid, I believe, is still going to be formed as previously mentioned. So it's a manual forming, so we will kind of see them coming off the start line and forming in the order that they are told to form in. There is no grid builder in that sense. So we will see that process take place. Another name I also wanted to speak to, I was also bearing in mind that Yogurt had only been on the podium once. Very consistent score. His results up until the race we've just done ranged from 3rd to 5th. So that's a very consistent set of scores for Yogurt. Now adds a big old 1 to that particular lineup. But Lumi as well has been on the podium for all bar one race. Tell me about Lumi.
Pardon me. Yeah, he started the season very, very strongly. As I said, he got that win at Long Beach. He had a bit of a disaster at the A1 ring last time out, where he got caught up in a few incidents. The weather didn't help. Coming back through the pack didn't help as well. But you've got to look at those two Lamborghinis, the Aston Martin of Strongest Avenger. But it's all about consistency. And we've already had 2 changes in the championship lead this season so far. So you can't really rule anybody really out of that top 6. And at the moment, I can't really call who has the advantage in this championship.
How's that fence working for you? That's sitting up.
I know.
I can't blame you though. I really can't blame you though. In fairness,
it's so tight. If you had asked me after the first 2 races, I'd have put Strongest Avenger at the head of everybody. But this is the best. This is the great thing about GT3 racing. It all comes back around.
Close GT3 racing. Who'd have thought? Yeah, absolutely. And that also, I know reverse grids have a bit of a mixed opinion. Some really don't like it. Us commentators really tend to love them because they create absolute storms. I've been the commentator in reverse grids. I've raced in reverse grids at the back and at the front. So yeah, it's chaos, all right. But what I personally believe it gives those that maybe had a bad race, that have some good pace to show but didn't necessarily get a chance to show it in the first race, they have a bit of a chance in the second one. But equally, it's I just think it's brilliant to watch the grid shuffle up.
Well, yes, absolutely. We had a reverse grid race at the A1 ring, or the Red Bull ring, as it now commonly known as. And we had a couple of the drivers like Nat and WMDR Martin fighting at the front, and they held their own for most of the race. So it can show that sometimes these drivers, if they get into the pack of the faster cars, they can sort of get their rhythm, they can follow their lines, pick their braking points a little bit better, and it can actually help them. And to be honest, it's a bigger challenge for the faster drivers as well. Surely, yeah, they want to win, but racing is really, or mainly about entertainment. And I think the fast guys, if they start at the back, if they're good enough, they make their way through anyway. So it's always a positive, I think, when you have a reverse grid race.
No argument from me on that one. Right then, so what's going to happen now is the lights are going to go out and no one is going to move. That's where they all roar off because they forgot. No, they know this procedure by now. So we'll have a few people start to shuffle around. Like Stefan Le Carrier, we know finished towards the back. So off they go, and the grid will form up behind Stefan. So what we'll see is the names just flying through the field. And I'm assuming somewhere around the end of Sector 1 is where it normally forms. So I'm assuming that's what will happen. There's Louis sat there very impatiently. You can hear someone coming through. That's the Kinky in the Audi. That is going to form in second place. Here comes Gwegwin in the Bentley of all things. That's brave.
Seems to be one of those cars that drivers don't tend to pick, but there's always one who tends to pick the Bentley, doesn't there?
I must admit, I am a bit of a fan of being that guy. For instance, I took part in a GT4 League Racing event, not in AOR, and I was the only one to pick the Mustang Boss. I did fairly well in the thing, but again, it's quite nice to do well in the car that no one else wants to run. As almost, this is kind of something I learned off of Andrix. If you do well in the car no one else wants, you really have done well. If you don't do well in the car no one wants, you have something to blame. So yeah, I can't fault him there. You can see at the bottom of the shot here, that's Stefan and Kinky in the waiting points. So here comes Gwegwin and Atomic to take third and fourth. You can hear in the background as well other people. This cameraman is terrible. Goodness me. I knew they were
not
back.
Right at this track, is it?
No, it's not. They need shooting. Oh, hello, Mr. Domino. You've spotted me. Hello, kind sir. Worked with Mr. Domino on the iRacing side many times. Brownski, now there's a name I remember from days of old. Hello, welcome back to you. But I'm really looking forward to this. Now, anyone that has heard me commentate will know I say that all the time. And it's no less true. I love commentating on pretty much anything that has an engine and makes a noise and moves. But when it comes to reverse grid racing, like you've already said, anything can happen. All it takes is one mistake, particularly in such a really densely populated pack, and you have an explosion normally.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but as I said, if you're a fan of motor racing, it doesn't matter what type of race. It could be lawnmower racing for all you care. You just love commentating on it. It's exactly the same for most of us who do this.
Yep.
And with these races as well, of course, this was all set up when we had the sprint race as well. So we know who the fast guys are. Now it's a challenge for them to make their way through. And that is all part of the fun, really, in any motorsport.
Oh yes, Mr. Domino asking, why am I in the box? I am standing in this week, and this week only, for Yorkie. He's not very well, and at the last minute I was, I would say coerced, but it really didn't take a lot of arm bending. It was a case of I was asked would I do it, and I thought, you know what, I haven't done the GT3 in quite a while, so why the hell not? Here I am, and thankfully Master Matt has agreed to join me, which is very welcome indeed. Right, the field is formed, so what's going to happen now is they will continue around the field at around about 80-ish kilometres an hour, and I still have that stuttering, which is highly annoying. Now they have hit what's called the formation point, so they'll slow down to 50 kilometres an hour and reform the 2x2 grid. So if we look at where they are on the map, they're coming up to turn 10, and then it'll be up to Stefan during the acceleration zone, which is usually start at the back part of the grid. So he's just about to hit it, and when he floors it, that will signify the beginning of the race. And then it'll be 26 racing laps, and he's off already. We are racing here in Zolder, or is he? I thought he'd gone then. No, now he's gone. Now that's actually caught the Audi out. So the Kinky was possibly a little bit caught out by that, because I thought Stefan went, and that camera angle's complete. So all the cameraman needs shooting. Oh, we got trouble. That's trouble. That's one of the McLarens has gone off into the field. That's Nat on the right-hand side of the shop. That is off into the dust. Oh no, Burger Franz has had some kind of technical trouble. He's facing the wall. No, he is moving. Now he's getting going. So he's had some big problem. Vitra was caught up in that Kronik as well. But up front, Stefan Acario still holds on to the lead.
Yeah, I'm just catching up. I'm just seeing the incident now. I have a slight delay on my stream. It was pandemonium at the back, but there will be some very happy faces, and particularly amongst the championship contenders, to see a couple of cars out their way. Big shame for Bosch France. I don't know how to pronounce it either, so we're probably going to trip over each other on this one. But he was running well, as he's had a fairly decent season as well, and so disappointed for him to get caught up. But yeah, I got caught up as well with Stefan trying to get away, but he's maintained his lead for now.
Yeah. Oh, look at this great, really condensed three-way battle going on here for the last podium spot. Quegwin, Atomic, and N-Top. Now, you've got to bear in mind that we will have a lot of faster cars making their way through the field, but this will give an opportunity for other people that wouldn't normally race each other to have a good old look at that lot behind WMDR Martin. That is a very scary pack to be in amongst. That's pretty much 6th down to 23rd, still in this very condensed pack. Now, that's someone taking a bit of a scenic route. It was one of the Janettas, I think. That surely wasn't it was Jogurk. There's only 2 of the Janettas in there, and I was on board with one of them. Rather gives away who the other one was. Oh, Jogurk flashed the lights there, wasn't happy about something. The Moo on the inside coming into turn 1. Oh, that's someone off the road. Is that Niederlap? Yep, it's Niederlap and the grey Lambo. Gone off the road, but he's actually timing his rejoin right. He's essentially sacrificed his races the right way to do it. The Moo is falling behind. Oh, that's someone spinning. Oh, huge impact. Oh, who was that? It was Dynamite Live. Oh my goodness, championship contender has had a huge accident and has got a hugely damaged Lamborghini.
Well, and the championship leader really under it now. That's such a shame. I'm just catching up on the action as it unfolds, but we said anything could happen, chaos could happen with these reverse grid races, and the championship leader has been caught out. If he can salvage anything from this, if he won the drives of the season. But what a chaotic start we've had to this race.
Absolutely so. Because the pack is still so heavily condensed, it's difficult for me to know where the look on board with the moves. He's chasing Strongest Avenger, and that's Jogurk ahead of him. So the top 3, or certainly part of the top part of the championship, now in about 16th position, making their way through the midfield. But you can't say they've just cut their way through the field. Just look at the amount of drivers they still have ahead of them. Yeah, you do have to be kind of a little bit braver with your overtaking maneuvers. Look at this! My God, that is a terrifying pack that is roaring down the lines. We go on with Zenzik on the left. That is Cameron, the bright green, radioactive as I called it, coloured Mercedes. Up ahead of them, Andrex has made his way up into 9th position with Tripp right ahead. Nat has made his way into the pits in that very wounded Ferrari. He's bouncing off the pit wall to try and get that car to behave itself. Oh dear, oh dear. And Tony Clifton in the in the white and green Renault, he's come into the pits as well. Terrible start for him. Jumping further up the field, there's AS Turbo on the back of him, WMDR Martin. That's a battle for 6th position at the moment. Tripp right behind, then Andrex, and then a whole swarm of cars. Goodness me, I would feel very nervous being in amongst this lot, but that's part of the reverse grid racing.
Yeah, it's about survival, especially for those fighting for the championship. Lumi's probably looking the best out of the main contenders so far. I'm just having a look down. He's got Jogurk and Strongest Avenger behind him as well. So yeah, it's all about survival. And of course, this track, you have a look at it, it's actually quite
Whoa!
narrow.
Sorry to cut you off there, Matt. You wouldn't see this yet, but Zolder's made a huge mistake. Massive outbreak into turn 8. And I think he took Fubar with him. He's now Zolder's now down to 19th position behind this almighty great pack. Yogurt is now up to 13th with all the fun going on. He's right behind Alan, who had a great run in the first race. He's now got the mighty Teapot sponsored Ginetta right with him, right behind Zenzik and Moo. As the strongest Avengers actually fallen behind Moo now. Oh, that's the Bentley! That's Quick Win! Facing the wrong way in turn 1. Be very careful. Can you rejoin, please? Which he does. He's now gone back underway. That's going to drop Quick Win a long way down. Fubar has brought the Renault back in. Wow, that was quick. So there couldn't have been much damage on that. But jumping back up to Andres, he's lost a position somewhere. He's in 8th now. But he's now in amongst this 4-way battle for 5th place. WMDR Martin, AORs Turbo, Trip, and of course himself. My goodness me. Oh, it's chaos and anarchy, but up the front, in fairness, Stefan Le Carrier is still leading the way and extending the lead with each lap that goes by. 2.5 seconds now. He's actually, there's Nat we just saw going through the shot. There he is in the blue Ferrari. My goodness me, it can still go anywhere, and we've still got another 20 laps to do.
The best thing, isn't it? And these drivers at the front who, started in, probably the best positions they're going to get this season, have made the most of it so far. They've not made any mistakes, and it's taking those championship contenders a few laps just to try and make their way through. But I just saw that incident there between Zolder and I think it was Fubar, wasn't it? Yeah, the Porsche just missed its braking point and tried to run it up the inside. He probably would have been better off just lifting off the brakes and maybe going across the corner and not ramming into the car in front. But well, it is all just starting to bunch up now between sort of 5th and 10th. And talking about drivers to keep an eye on, AORs Turbo actually finished 2nd at the A1 ring last week, so he has got plenty of pace in that McLaren as well. So now, hopefully, for some of those drivers' sake, it will just start to calm down. But Stefan Le Carrier, the Kinky One, and Atomic will all be licking their lips with some good championship points at this stage.
Absolutely is. Oh, there's another one in the pits. As Burger France that's come in. The khaki-coloured Merc giving the pit crew something to do. There's Lumi in 8th position on Andrex's tail. This battle continuing. WMDR Martin now up to 4th position. I think Lumi made a mistake somewhere, because WMDR Martin was 5th last time we looked in. There's Yogurt. He has really broken away from Moo and Strongest Avenger. He's actually got Cameron in between himself and the two I just mentioned. So a couple of seconds, well, never mind. Moo's just nailed Cameron on the outside of that turn 7 complex. Very nicely done. I suspect Cameron probably letting go. Even though it was a reverse grid race, you realistically know where you are in the pecking order. Never mind that though. There's Lumi, who's got a great ringside seat for some awesome squabbling ahead of him. That's AORs Turbo on the case of WMDR Martin. These engine roars are deafening, and what a way to go. Loving every second of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yogurt knows that he has to keep pace with Lumi, who's looking very strong at the moment. I'm just keeping an eye now on that pack, as you say, between sort of WMDR Martin all the way back down to Lumi. Yogurt won't take too long to get up to those fighting there, but it's looking good for Lumi to really bring that championship back towards himself, with Strongest Avenger still down in 12th place.
Oh, Lumi's squeezed past Andrex for 7th position. As I was looking at Dynamite alive, sadly limping that wounded car back into the pits. Andrex again, he's going to have to concede that one as Lumi's made his way past. Oh, that's trouble! That's Trip that's really overcooked that turn 5 chicane and sent himself off into the wall. Yogurt very thankful for that on the outside of turn 6. Thank you very much, I'll have that. So 2 positions down for Trip. That still puts him in 9th. There's still a good position to be in. Of course, that was how costly one mistake is when the pack is this closely condensed. And this pack is closing in on Atomic for 3rd position. So it is by no means decided. Look at that McLaren as AORs Turbo again on WMDR Martin's case. We now look head on down to from turn 10. That's the second chicane. Is the McLaren going to be able to do it this time? Can he outbrake the Lambo? Oh no, he's hit the side of the Lambo, but he has managed to do it. AORs Turbo now up into 4th position.
Another one who'll be looking to take advantage of this current chaos that we've got going on, but this 7-car battle is going to keep us entertained for a long time yet. But incredible stuff at the moment.
Oh no, Andrex was not interested in making that 3 wide. Yogo was watching the chaos ahead of him as Andrex in the Merc right ahead of us now. Didn't want to commit to a 3 wide. I don't blame him into turn 1, but that's cost him a bit of momentum, and Yogo now all over the back of him. This is going to be interesting to see how these guys deal with this. Side by side, the 2 Lambos, that's Lumi and WMDR Martin, as they come down towards turn 5. Oh, this could get very, very messy. Lumi has managed to nail WMDR Martin and all that. And only just as Martin managed to fend off everybody else, Moo is now in this pack. He's caught up with it. Oh, I think he's just got himself a penalty there because he's suddenly slowed down a bit earlier than I was expecting. Goodness me, my throat is going to die. I mean, what a way for it to go, quite frankly. But goodness me, this is absolutely brilliant stuff. And as Turbo's not wasting any time either, Atomic, that's an apt name for considering the colour of the car, is now really got some company for 3rd position.
Absolutely. We knew that the championship contenders were going to have to make their way through as quickly as possible. And Lumi's doing it. He's now on the back of that fight for 3rd place. But you just love this, especially someone like WMDR Martin is in there. You know, he had a decent run last weekend as well. Last week, sorry, at the Red Bull Ring. And I wouldn't rule him out for a decent finish either.
Oh, wow. It looked like Andrews got chopped off there by Yoga, who's fighting WMDR Martin side by side through turn 1. And the Genetic Corvette, I need to say they're wrong class entirely, manages to get past WMDR Martin into 6th position. Andrews doesn't really have anywhere to go at the moment, but he's being chased by Tripp and by Moo. So Moo was trying to find a way past Tripp as well. Oh, that's Janetta, that's Yoga wide. Oh, Yoga's made a mistake. Oh my goodness me, even the Greats made a mistake. That tiny mistake has thrown Yoga right the way back into 10th position. My goodness, that rather came out of nowhere. So Andrex now 7th, Tripp 8th, Moo 9, WMDR Martin back up into 6th place.
Well, Yoga got another one of these championship contenders trying to fight.
Yoga side by side with Moo coming into turn 7. Sorry, Matt, carry on.
No problem at all. You've got the advantage of seeing this before I do. but Yoga, yeah, this just shows you have these cars that are not normally in amongst each other. Some of them are desperate to defend their position. The others are desperate to get past them. And we have these incidents, but it does enough make for some great racing to watch. Doesn't it just? As Strong as Avengers caught the back of that pack now. And Az Turbo is up into 3rd. He's nailed Lumi. He's nailed Atomic, and Lumi followed through. So Atomic is now down into 5th position. Then we look at Martin, who's just being swarmed by it seems like all and sundry. He's doing a brilliant job of hanging on to that 6th position. Oh no, there's trouble. That was Moo. That's Moo round the Lamborghini. Again, one of the championship frontrunners is off into the dust. That's going to drop him a long way down. Oh my goodness, nearly gets punched in the face by Zolder in the Porsche. God, we're 10 laps in. Oops, as Atomic runs a little bit wide there. And it's impossible to know where to look, which, yes, I know, that's what I'm enjoying the most, in case you couldn't tell by me screaming like a madman into the mic. Let's have a look at this pack from 12th down to 18th. So that's Cameron down to Vitra. These guys look like they're a little bit more, let's say, well behaved, but they're a little bit more organized. Oh, I say that. Who's that? Wonderful. No, that was Strongest Avenger. He's made a mistake. He just caught that pack with Yoga in it, and he's made a mistake, and that's dropped him all the way down to 16th. Well. The number of mistakes we've seen, it just seems as if some of these top drivers are just a little bit too desperate to make up their positions. They're all fighting behind the likes of, Andrex and WMDR Martin, and WMDR Martin is no slouch when it comes to defending his position. But for Strongest Avenger, this is a disaster, especially with Lumi now moving up towards the podium positions. We could have another change of the championship lead.
could well do. Yogek is determined to get past WMDR Martin. He's been side by side throughout that last chicane. Still side by side with the Lamborghini coming into turn 1. Martin's not making it easy for him. And why should he? It's full position. Is the Genetic going to have the drive down towards turn 2? Does look like it. Yogurt finally gets past, or back past, I should say, WMDR Martin for 8th position. But Tripp is back up into 7th. Andrix has actually managed to work his way through that entire pack and is now in 6th place. He's going to hope that the Lamborghini of Tripp is going to hold Yogurt back a little bit. Behind this particular pack, there is Alan, not having quite such a strong race as he did last time, but still plodding on nonetheless. We're not even halfway through this, or not even close to halfway through this race. There is Moo following his last spin behind Cameron and Zolty in 13th position, but strongest Avenger, what might have been, worked his way up to 11th, down to 15th, but still plenty of time for these drivers to improve on their position.
Oh, absolutely. As you just mentioned, we're nowhere near halfway of this race, and I think we're both out of breath already. This has been incredible. This has been incredible stuff so far. But all credit to Stefan Le Carrier out front. He's got over a 7-second lead to the kinky one, who's also holding his own. It just seemed to be calming down a little bit now, and I think they need to, because otherwise we're going to have a lot of cars ending up maybe into the side of each other, or maybe even off the road. Just a little bit of patience, which Lumi, I'll keep coming back to him because he is one of the leading contenders who has done the best job.
And as you said that, he's just nailed As Turbo perfectly under brakes. Coming into turn 1, I thought Nat was going to go for a spin there, but no, you keep the Ferrari in check. Lumi now up into 3rd position with that lovely move into turn 1. Let's see who else we can catch up with. There's Andrex Tripp in tow, but Andrex is looking to close in on Atomic. Now we're starting to see the representative lap times come in, I think, exactly as you were saying, Matt. It looks like the craziness has calmed down, finally. It's taken quite a long time, nearly half the race, for the initial kind of panic, must push face to kind of deal with yourself. Again, coming back to Stefan Le Carrier, who had a very disastrous first race, started on the pole in this one, saw the pit lane at least once in the first race, and he's setting some pretty representative laps. It's 33.5, not bad with race fuel. Okay, we were seeing low 30s in qualifying, but that's with an empty tank. So, that's not a half bad lap time at all. It's certainly nowhere near. I couldn't get anywhere near that kind of pace, even if I tried. That's why I go for the commentary box.
You and me both, mate. But I'd like to say though that some of the fastest times we've been seeing during race trim, and I watched them practicing last night, we're sort of in the mid 132. So he's still lapping well within the pace that's going to keep him up towards probably the better half of the top 10. The best thing for him will be, he will be looking at that lap counter. He's now on to lap 13, and he's still got he's obviously As Turbo and Lumia behind them, but the fact he's only got the kinky one behind him, coming up towards half race distance, that will be giving him a fucking lot of confidence.
Yoga just took a big punch in the face there from Tripp. Yoga's really trying to string that one around the outside of turn 2. Nearly got away with it, but sadly was not meant to be. That's someone that's lagged and put Yoga off. That was a lagging... who was that? It was the kinky one. Big lag spike for the kinky one there. He's Audi stationary in the road. I didn't force Yoga off the road, but when you see a car stationary, your instinct is to avoid it. I've been there I'm sure we've all been there. So I feel sorry for Yoga, but he didn't lose too much time. He's got WMDR Martin and Alan not too far behind him as well. So again, this pack just will not resolve itself. Andrex is now leading that pack again. Is he going to have a go at Atomic? He's now right on the radioactive Mercs case, but he's got... Oh, no, just as I said that, I've commentated cursed Atomic. I'll make my apologies for that. Oh, don't rejoin on that! My goodness, that cameraman needs shooting. We can't really see, but as you can see everybody coming past, it looked like Atomic was trying to rejoin the racing line at the wrong time, and again, that was Kirinik that was forced off the road. That's thrown him all the way down to 16th position. It's a big shame for Atomic from being in the top 5 all race long. But now Andrex has got 3 seconds to close into Lumi, but on his tail is Trip and Yogurt still.
That was probably one of the worst cases of commentator's curse I think I've ever seen. We were talking about these drivers up the front. They were not making mistakes. Unfortunately for Atomic, he's fallen back. But for Asturbo and Lumi now, it's about how quickly...
Oh, trouble! That's Trip that's gone for a spin. And he's stalled it. He's either stalled or lagged. I'm pretty sure he's stalled. I can't hear the engine. But again, he's having to wait for a spot. There he goes. He's down to 15th now. Oh my goodness me. So now it's Yogurt and Andrex that are fighting for 5th position. Oh, you can't call anything. You really cannot predict at all. I think we might have mentioned that once or twice. Oh, that's our Turbo and the Kinky One. I was watching that time coming down, and now the McLaren is all over the back of the Audi. Now, we did see that big lag spike from the Kinky One earlier, which is it's very disconcerting when you're near a car that does it. But with all the fighting going on and people falling off the road, Stefan, just minding his own business, is now nearly 8 seconds to the good.
It's all about keeping it clean. It doesn't matter what position you're in, you've got to keep it clean, and we've seen plenty of drivers making mistakes. It's some of their own accord, some not their fault, but the longer Asturbo sits behind the Kinky One, he hasn't got past him, has he? Because I can't see it live.
No.
Because the longer he stays behind, the better and better this is going to be for Stefan. He may not win this race, depends on how quickly Asturbo and Lumi get past, but he is certainly on for a top 4, maybe even a podium if this continues at this rate, as Yogurt, as I'm seeing now, he needs to get past Andrex ASAP.
Well, he's determined to do so, but again, he's now just jumped out of the slipstream and has managed to nail the Merc. Oh, that was close. I think Andrex saw that coming and broke a little early to allow Yogurt into position, but Asturbo is still nailed to the back of the Kinky One, and there is Lumi. So Lumi is now getting back into position to possibly challenge for 2nd place. So I think you're right in saying the championship could be blown absolutely wide open, but we will see, as we have only not long gone over the halfway point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think now Lumi's in a position, a few of those cars around him have got time penalties as well. He just needs to keep it clean, keep it out of the wall, keep it out of the gravel, and he will have the championship lead, and Asturbo will be sniffing a race victory, really, because he was 2nd last time out in Austria, and if he can get past that Audi, then this is definitely on for that McLaren.
Oh, he's committed to the outside line of turn 1. He wants the inside line for 2. That's why he's committed to that line. Oh, he's gone a bit deep. He's going to try and come back under the... No, he's lost that momentum. Lumi now closing in on the McLaren. But, of course, he's got that pesky Audi at the front of that particular dance going on. I haven't even had a chance to look at time penalties. Just a quick glance. 2 for Stefan, 2 for Asturbo, 36 for Lumi. He's going for the entire collection. 3 for Moo, 2 for Alan, 2 for Zolty, 3 for Martin, 1 for Strongest Avenger. That takes us to our top 11. Here comes the McLaren once again. Can he get it done this time? No, he just cannot draw alongside the Audi. One's better. Again, it's the same kind of comparison as the Aston and the Ginetta. One's quicker in the straights, one quicker in the corners, and they just cannot overcome their differences at the moment. But the more they fight, there's Yogurt in the lead Ginetta that's going to have to go through this pack, and that's going to help Andrex get back into the fight.
Absolutely. That throws everything out the window when it came to me talking about Lumi, doesn't it? With a 36-second time penalty. So of the top sort of 4 or 5 in the championship now, it's a Yogurt that's looking the strongest, because he will probably get past that now. I'm just looking down. The strongest Avenger still there in 10th place, and of course Dynamite Alive, unfortunately, at the back in the other of the V10 gang Lamborghinis, those multicoloured Lamborghinis, the teammates, who I know they work very well together. They do a lot of setup work together for these races, so they come into these races prepared. And if it weren't for the fact that he basically has taken half a lap out of his race so far, Lumi's been doing the best job of it. But that gap at the front continues to grow, and to be fair to the Kinky One, he ain't half putting up a decent fight. Oh,
so is Lumi. He's going to try and get... He's got Asturbo. He's managed to do the move. He's done the McLaren. I mean, that took a bit of fighting to do, but the Ginetta is now right in there. So this fight has just gotten very, very spicy indeed. That Ginetta is surprisingly noisy when you're on board with it. But here comes Yogurt now. He's going to have an awkward position to go through. Trying to deal with one car as you're passing it, you can kind of guess where it's going to go. You know who he's likely to defend. As Cameron has come into the pits at the end of lap 16. As a reminder, no mandatory pit stop, so that'll be for damage more than likely. So when you're coming to pass one car, you know where they're likely to go, you know where they're likely to defend, etc, etc. When you've got a pack of them, I mean, well, you can see where this conversation's going to go, as it looked like Lumi was trying to make a move in the kicker one. He's got him! What a move! A great outbreaking manoeuvre on the inside of turn 8. That is second position to Lumi. Bearing in mind that 36 penalty is likely to be in error. He may would have made a mistake, but usually that 30-second penalty is a bit of a slam dunk one. Usually they get appealed and they can be removed. So there may well be an appeal open. We've just lost someone from the race. I don't know who. I'm not even going to attempt to figure out who. But the race up front still goes on. Lumi now leads the way, leads this pack in second position. I think Stefan's made a mistake somewhere. He's lost a little bit of time. He's now just under 8 seconds. But again, still very consistent, very solid race for him so far.
Yes, absolutely. But for Lumi now, he's got to put the hammer down. He's got to make up as much of a gap as he can to try and protect as many positions as he can. But the kinky one, he may be able to do Lumi a bit of a favour here if he's defending from both As Turbo and Yogurt.
Oh no! Just as you say that! Oh no, Kiki spun. He got a bit of a punch in the face there from Yogurt. Literally as you said that, and you'll see it in the stream in a minute. Yeah, you'll see it in the stream. I'll let you watch that one. Bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, because Matt joined me a little bit late. He's watching the stream, same as you are, so not live as I am. So that's where the differences lies. But with all that going on, Yogo's still behind As Turbo, and Andrex is now right in this mixture as well. Lumi's got himself a tiny bit of breathing space, but don't expect that to last long.
No, I've just seen that incident now. They were side by side through the chicane, but that's such a shame for the kinky one. I'll have to apologise to him afterwards because he actually messaged me before the stream. So, yeah, exactly. He messaged me before the stream saying he was looking forward to it. But oh, that's such a shame. He was running so well. But now Lumi's going to have to try and pull that gap to now what is a faster pack of cars now that unfortunately the kinky one has spun. And as you say, that Merc of Andrex just lurking in the background as well as Moo. So this battle for sort of second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, pretty much down to seventh is not over yet. We've got about 10 laps to go.
Yogo now up into third position ahead of As Turbo, so that overtake has happened whilst I was trying to look away at other battles going on. I do try and give most people some airtime, but I think you'll all agree that this race has been all kinds of crazy. And Moo is right in there as well. He's been slowly gaining on this particular pack. Now finds himself right in there. So he really will factor in this battle for what is the podium spot. Yogo has got himself about 0.8 of a second over As Turbo, but he's going to be on Lumi's case fairly soon. I wouldn't be at all surprised if this pack of, what will then become a pack of 5 all condenses up again.
No, absolutely. And if you were talking about Moo, he's the only one of those drivers in the 1:31 at the moment. While they've been fighting up ahead, they're all sort of hovering around the high 1:33s and maybe even the low 1:34s. So yeah, this battle is not over yet, and it's still, we've still got about 9 laps or so to go, and these guys are still between 6 and 8 seconds behind our race leader.
Indeed. Although that gap has come down to 5.6 seconds now. So again, I think penalties may have something to do with that. Or Lumi's up to 37 now. So he's still adding the individual ones. The 30 is likely to come off. So we'll have to kind of figure out where that is. Oh, we've just lost another. Down to 24 drivers now. Again, I don't know. I thought it was Dynamite Alive for a second this guy, but no, he's still running in 21st position. It's definitely been a race to forget for him. But Moo is, what is he? He's right with As Turbo. Now there he is. There is the McLaren. Oh no, Fubar's in the pits. He's in the pits again. That's the second time I think the Renault's been in. Oh, as they bounce over the curbs there. Andrex I think has made a mistake because he's now behind Moo and As Turbo. Andrex down into 6th place. Still sort of in contention there. Oh, Gwegwin's in the pits as well. The Bentley's come in. That's usually a death knell, isn't it, if you're having to pit in a race that doesn't mandate pit stops. That's a bit of a shame, but that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, at this stage of the race now, you need to... Well, I've been saying it all the way through, but of course you need to keep it on the island, especially as you come in towards the end. I've known that from plenty of experiences in this league myself, that, you know, you can keep it on the...
Trouble! That's the kinky one sent for a spin again! Again, he was been tapped. It was by Zolder this time, coming down into turn 8. And the Audi will be getting pretty fed up with that. I think that the kinky one is indeed the only one in the top 10 that doesn't have a penalty. Even Andrex has one. So that goes to show how difficult this track is to avoid penalties. He's usually very, very close, very much, one of the ones that always aims to be penalty free.
I was just seeing that incident there between Zolder and the kinky one, and I have to say that was a very big dive bomb from the Porsche, and just seeing, I think he was flashing his lights to indicate that he wasn't particularly happy with that. But as you said, this was a big topic that the drivers were discussing yesterday on the track limit side. A lot of them not entirely happy with how the game system works, but as you say, we'll find out in the stewards later on this week if any of those penalties are withdrawn. And I still think we're in for that fight for third place. Yogurt is catching Lumi a little bit now, and you say with those penalties, Yogurt looking good here to take second.
Oh, Stefan Lecarrier, he's going to be in trouble. He's not got enough lead left with the amount of laps to go to see him through to the flag, so that's going to be an on-track fight then for the lead. It's now down to under 3 seconds. There is Lumi in the background of the shot with the Renault, well, that's Fubar in the purple Renault getting out of the way. Yogurt is doing his best to keep in touch with Lumi. We're starting to see the 31s come onto the board a few times now. Lumi with a 31.9, a couple of seconds quicker or just shy than that from Stefan Lecarrier. So now this will be interesting to see if Lecarrier defends that. I mean, it's for the lead, so I would imagine he'd have a go. Oh, I thought Andrix was going to have a go on the inside of Asturbo, then the McLaren, but opted not to do so into turn 2 or turn 3 at that point. So still a lot of squabbling going on for what is now 4th position. There are battles elsewhere. I just haven't had much of a chance to look at them. For instance, a bit of a battle here, 11th, 12th, 13th between WMDR Martin, Zenzik and Speedigo. Also, the kinky one is still in there because he's been sent off into the dust a couple of times, which he just needs to keep his head, which is easy to say, but if you've been caught up in incident after incident, it's very easy to get very frustrated, and then mistake breeds mistake breeds mistake.
Yes, it is. He's still on for a good result, as you say. He's currently there in 10th place. But I would imagine if I was Stefan, you're a racing driver, you want to get over that line in first, but for the bigger picture, probably realizes that that's probably not a fight he's going to be able to win. But there's nothing against him putting on a little bit of a show, showing what he can do, but he's still on for a very, very solid result. They could even end up on the podium. I don't know how the time penalties will work that way, because that little group of Mu, Asturbo and Andrex, they're not exactly cruising up to the back of this fight, are they? They're knocking a couple of tenths off Stefan every lap, but because they've been squabbling, they can't catch him up as quickly as possible.
That's right. I was just literally arriving at the same conclusion, that Stefan, whilst regularly in the 33s, so not quite on the very lead pace, I think it has got enough to maintain a podium position, even with even penalty adjusted, because there's a good, what's it between Mu and Yoga? Because about 4.3 at the moment between Mu and Yoga. So even if Lecarrier just decided there's no point in me fighting Lumi and Yoga, I'll just let them go, sit in their slipstream for a little while. We've only got 5 laps left, so could well do it. We will see. Still battles to be... Oh, hello. I thought there'd been a shuffle around here. Oh no, there has been. Hang on. Yo, Mu's fallen out of the battle for 4th. So he's made a mistake. So that's now Asturbo and Andrex fighting for 4th. Mu has now got company from Zolder in 7th position. So there we go. It's literally just arriving to say it's still all to play for. There's still mistakes to be had as we now look at Lumi, who is closing right in on Stefan Le Carrier now. Let's see what the Lemon Lambo does.
We love cursing these drivers, don't we? We keep talking about the antics and what they've got to do to finish the job off, and then something happens.
Yep.
But I would imagine Stefan, he'll probably try and defend his position a little bit, but he can't afford to take himself up. And I tell you one thing, he will not want to be known as the man who took out the man who could take the championship lead at this stage of the race. And with that spinning, well, we don't know if it was a spin. We didn't really see it, but I would imagine that it's probably to that chicane moves made a mistake in the middle of the lap as they go over the crest. But there's As Turbo and Andrex now. I'm just looking at their lap times. They're only taking 2 or 3 tenths of a second out of Stefan. So if he uses his head here, as you say, just let Lumi, well, not let him through, but don't fight Lumi and Jorguk too much. Stick on their pace, and you can just hook yourself to the back of a faster car and maybe just keep that podium position.
I tell you what, Stefan's having none of it. He's not letting them go at all. That top 3 is now completely condensed, and Stefan isn't obliged to jump out of the way. This is for position. He's perfectly entitled to defend that spot. And I'd say there is, so even with him fighting, there's sufficient distance between himself and As Turbo for Stefan, unless they go off the road, obviously. Oh, Lumi looks on the inside of turn 10. Oh, that's a move. Can he get it done before they get to the line? Yes, Lumi has taken the lead. And a great outbreaking manoeuvre into turn 10. Jorguk is looking to follow suit in the Ginetta. He's not quite got the pace there. Can he string around the outside of one? No, he falls behind. But that's Stefan Le Carrier doing, well, a bit of dust, I think, kicked her there by Lumi. Oh, and that's an opportunistic move by Jorguk. The inside of turn 2, a bit of a shove as well. But Stefan Le Carrier keeps it on the black stuff. Loses a tiny bit of time, but just can just sit in the tyre tracks. All right, I've had my fun. Off you go. You do your thing. But fair play to Stefan Le Carrier. He's still on for a decent podium position. Andrex has made a mistake. He's fallen a couple of seconds off the back of As Turbo. So there's still, like I said earlier, there's still mistakes to be had. There's still positions to decide.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stefan fought that a lot harder than I thought he was going to. But all the credit to him. He kept the car on the track. Didn't make it easy for Lumi and Jorguk powering through. And he won't be able to see it. But seeing those mistakes from Andrex, that's just going to give him a lot more encouragement. It's just now down to whether As Turbo can put the pressure on. But As Turbo and Andrex both did a 37 on that last lap, so maybe they both got caught up in something. Also, there's another caveat to this. If Stefan can stay within 3 seconds as the penalty count currently sits to Jorguk, he'll inherit second. So that's a difficult task. We've all seen how quick Jorguk is. And I mean, no disrespect to Stefan Le Carrier, but that will be very hard to maintain a 3 second gap. It's about 1 second at the moment with 2 laps to go. Oh, that was someone parked on the... was that Greg Wynn? No, it wasn't. I didn't see who that was. It was someone very, very slow on the inside. They're probably just staying out of the way of the leaders. But Jorguk has not secured second yet. Now, we do have to take that 30... Actually, taking the 30-second penalty off of Lumi still demotes him out of first. So Stefan Le Carrier could actually genuinely be second. Or might, bit of a long shot, but may still inherit the lead. Wouldn't that be a story? It's all a case of the penalties, as we've said. Just getting the better of some of these drivers now, but it's going to be tense now. The one thing that these drivers at the front do not want to do is tense up and miss a braking point or go off the track. And Stefan Le Carrier has been, well, we've seen a lot of him in the last few laps, but he was so quiet and so consistent at the beginning of the race. We barely saw him, so full credit to him. He's made the most of what was effectively a pole position in this race. So let's see how this turns out, because as I said, sometimes if you sit behind a faster car, you can just sort of be towed along by them. So he's still on for a podium position, as somehow we haven't seen a lot of him. I'm just seeing it now. Strongest Avenger has moved himself back up into 7th place. There's some good championship points coming his way, and of course with the big gaps between the point scorers, this will keep him in the championship fight. When he sees the results at the end of this, and he sees that all the time penalties given to Lumi, he'll probably be very, very happy.
He's up into 6th. He has actually nailed Alan somewhere along the line. Final lap here at Zolder. The penalties will decide the positions. At the moment, Stefan has just fallen outside of that 3-second gap he needed to hang on to Yogo. But we've seen how easy mistakes are at this track. Lumi, there's no way he's going to build up a 7-second gap unless people start falling off the road now. So Lumi may well take the checkered flag, but it does look like Yogurt is going to take the double. We will see. Still some corners to do. And Yogurt, I suspect Yogurt's just going to sit behind. Actually, he's slowed down a little bit. He can't afford to do that. And that's actually where Stefan, or that's dangerously close to giving Stefan within the 3 seconds he needs. Yogurt can't afford to just slow down. But I suspect what he's trying to do is avoid adding any more penalties to his count. Adding penalties on the last lap is very dangerous. So it's not done yet. We will see as we now come down towards the final chicane. Lumi is going to take the checker flag, but he's going to fall, taking the 30 seconds off. That's going to be a roundabout 4th position, so potentially outside of the podiums, but then who knows what's going to happen. Checkered flag falls. Lumi takes the win initially, but that is going to inherit up to Yogurt. Is Stefan going to inherit that? Yes, he did! Stefan inherited the win! Due to penalties, Stefan Le Carrier has actually inherited the top spot from Yogurt. Well, we did say it would be a story, and there it is, as Turbo has taken third rather. Andrex 4, of course we don't know where Lumi's realistically going to reappear after penalties are evaluated. Strongest Avenger 5, Alan 6th, Moo 7th, Zolty 8, Lumi is looks settled in 9th. Oh, here comes a kinky one. Lumi's still falling through the fields. Oh no, it looks like he's settled there. So Zenzik 11, WMDR Martin 12, Speedio 13th, Atomic is fending off. That's Kiranek for 14th position. There he comes then, Kiranek in the Audi. Here comes Vitra in the McLaren for 16th position. Dynamite Alive finishes in 17th. Goodness me, I think that's one he'll want to score off the, he'll want to take off the records. Enton takes 18th position. Tony Clifton, oh, penalties again, still kicking in. That's Dynamite Alive now falling through the field. There's a Tony Clifton that is elevated up to 18th position. Here comes Luke in the black Audi. There's Fubar already finished. Yeah, Fubar in the Renault, along with Gwegwin and Niederlap, have already crossed the line. Goodness me. Absolutely knackered after all that. Wow, what a story. So Stefan Le Carrier doing what he needed to do to finish within, and look how close it was, penalty adjusted. That's why Yogurt earned another seconds penalty at the death of the race. So because of that, he lost the win to Stefan Le Carrier. As Turbo is going to round up the podium, Andrex 4, Strongest Avenger 5, Alan 6th, Moo 7th, Zolty 8, Kiki 1 9, and Lumi rounding out the top 10, of course, before any steward's intervention. Wow.
What an unbelievable race, wasn't it? Absolutely incredible. And the one thing that we kind of were genuinely hoping for Stefan actually came to fruition. What an unbelievable final stint that was. Incredible.
Well, it's not often you get a commentator's blessing. There's many a commentator curse out there. So there we go. Wow. What a race that was. So we see, does anybody want to have a chat with us after that? I mean, my goodness. Now,
are we able to have a chat with them? I think my voice is about to disappear on us.
We do have a few. That I wanted to have a chat with us. I think we, well, I mean, I'm happy to do the screamy bit if you like, but I think we need to have a chat with Mr. Yogurt, the winner and nearly winner out of that lot. Let's have a chat. Let's drag him over. Also, the other game us commentators like to do is break up a conversation mid-flow by dragging people into the box. Let's see then. Let's have a chat with Yogurt.
Hey.
Hello to you, sir. Well, what a night you've had.
One was pretty nice, I gotta say.
So, were you looking forward to Zolder? It's a bit of an opinion divider, this one.
Oh, I hate the track, but the car is good here, so I put in extra practice and it worked out.
A lot of people, and I saw you do this a few times, were having to do a lot of opposite lot. Although, admittedly, your Tokyo drifting in practice was spectacular, I must say.
Yeah, that I mainly took the car for. It wasn't for speed; it was just for drifting.
Beautiful. So, is that do you tend to go with a more loose setup, or is that just what worked best for the Janetta tonight?
Honestly, I couldn't figure it out how to actually make the rear more stable, because whenever like the tire starts to overheat, the rear just starts to slide out, and there's not really any fixes for that. And it's especially bad in dirty air, so that's why I had a couple of close calls, but somehow I managed to hold it together.
Go, didn't you just? But right at the very end of that second race, that lead just taken away by penalties. That must be quite frustrating.
Yeah, I got a 1 second penalty on the last corner, which cost me first place. Now I'm P3 if Lumi's 30-second penalty gets removed. So that's pretty sad, but I'm happy enough with my first win in the sprint race already, so it's fine.
Great stuff. Any questions, Matt?
Nope, not at the moment. Sorry, guys, I'm a little bit preoccupied.
You carry on. You carry on. Oh, great effort. Well done. Thank you very much. Yogak.
Thank you.
Ooh, Mr. Matt, who should we have next?
Let's have a talk with the kinky one, shall we? Let's see how he got on.
Okie dokie. Into the box this time is the kinky one. Welcome to you.
Hello! Oh my god.
Tired, are we?
Oh my god, what a race. Ay, ay, ay. I'm over the moon with that there, I can't believe it.
Talk us through it from your side. I mean, we didn't see an awful lot of you, I'm afraid, from camera perspective. As well, you'll see if you look at the stream back, it was all kinds of crazy, particularly in the feature race. But talk us through it from your side.
Hey, I was just happy to stay out of all the madness, to be honest. The first race for me was a nightmare, but the second race, oh my god, I started P2 and then got a decent start, and I was almost able to keep up with Steven, but he was faster than me. But then when the faster guys came through and they were slowly catching me, but I was just like doing my best to not let them pass, because I was like I gotta do this for Fubar, because I've known Fubar for like a long time, like, and he got me into this. But oh my god, I'm just over the moon with us here, like. And then I just I can't even control how happy I am. Oh my god.
It's all good to hear. You have every right to be. As I say, we did see your first race didn't really go your way, but yeah. So what was your expectation coming into Zolder? Were you thinking that you were in for a chance for a good result, or you just hit and hope?
Honestly, when I saw that the grid was full, pretty much full, I was like, oh, this is going to be like a battle for 20th again. And then the start of the first race, I was like, yeah, this is just a waste. I was so close to retiring, but then I remembered that it's reverse grid, so I was like, oh, I might have a chance in the second race, and it was. I'm so over the moon. I'm so happy, like.
Even though we did see you facing the wrong way a couple of times, that must have been a little frustrating.
Yeah, in the second race, yeah, going into the first chicane, I think it was with Turbo, maybe, I can't remember. But
there's so much going on, I've completely forgotten.
Yeah, I was driving the car and I'd forgotten it as well. I can't even remember who was racing. But yeah, I spun, and then I think it dropped to P8 or P9 behind Strongest Avenger, and then yeah, I then just did my best to just try and take it home. And Martin was chasing me down in the last couple of laps, and Speedy was behind him, and I was like, oh no. I was like, I honestly thought they were going to do like a last lap Lando on me in this path lane. I was like, just
brilliant stuff. Well done. Any questions, Matt?
I say it's great just to hear someone being that excited over that. This is exactly what we want to hear from someone who's really enjoyed their race. And put in basically their 100%. This is absolutely brilliant, in all honesty.
Honestly, well, apart from the 2 little spins I had, I was on it. Like, honestly, I couldn't have given any more. Like, the car was sliding around every corner. I was just braking as late as I could, just getting on the throttle as early as I could without, doing too crazy. But oh yeah. Like it's crazy. Like, what is like at the beginning of the season, I was like with the Daytona and Bathurst, like the races didn't really go well for me, so I was like, oh, this is just gonna be me, coming at the dead last at every race. But I think we're turning it around, because the team championship, we want to be at least the best of the Audis, anyways. So I think hopefully this will help, anyways. Yay.
Awesome stuff. Well, we share in your joy. It's very infectious, and rightly so. Thank you very much, Kinky One.
Thank you.
I want to have a chat with my old stablemate. Let's have a natter to the Scottish Wonderman that is Andrex.
Good evening.
Well, it's been a while.
Yeah, a little bit, kind of. Yeah, off and on a bit, I guess.
How you doing, fella?
Yeah, that went alright.
You were always fighting someone.
Oh, yeah.
Like a true Scotsman, I suppose.
Yeah, it's in my nature. You can't take a Scotsman out of a race car, you can't. Nah, you gotta have a little battle here now. Yeah, the first race was a little bit slippery. Very, very slidey car. Heavy SLS boys, drifty car for race 1. You seemed to calm it down a little bit for race 2, but yeah, I don't know, it was just a bit odd. But yeah, lots of good battles, and that's what I was here for. I don't really mind where I finish in terms of what position, what number you get at the end. It's just a number, but yeah, I just really love those reverse grid races. They just mix things up a lot, and you get pro sandbaggers like Stefan who throw away race 1 just to get that race 2. No, he didn't. He started on softs, I think, on race 1, so that's what destroyed his race 1.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just good battles, good fun. New penalties were going to be pretty massive in terms of how much of an effect they're going to have on the race. So I was trying to avoid them almost at all costs. I didn't pick any up in race 1, which was nice and clean. I think I gained a position from that. And race 2, it was looking okay. I think I picked up the first 2-second penalty from a screen freeze just before chicane 1, which was a nightmare. And then I got a warning again, and I slowed down for it because I think I was just behind Fubar at the end there. I wasn't far behind him, and I was within a second, and I had 1 second less penalty than him. And I thought, I'll just sit here. I'm not going to attack. I'll just sit here and just keep within that 1 second. And then we both got another warning, and I slowed down, and I still got the penalty for it. God damn, what can you do? And then the next one, I slowed down again, and then I was just too far behind him. I think I finished half a second with the penalties behind, so I just slowed down a bit too much. But no, it was good fun. Enjoyed it.
That is all good to hear. Any questions, Matt?
Nope, I'm good.
I look forward to watching the stream. It's nice for you to grace you with your presence.
I've loved it. It's been very much good fun. I'm very glad to have stood in for the Yorkie. Thank you very much for your time, good sir. Thank you very much, Andrex.
Thank you. Cheers. Good night.
Oh, you pick one more, Matt. Who are we going to speak to?
Well, if we can, let's speak to our race winner.
Stefan. Yes, of course. Hopefully he unmutes his mic. Let's have a chat to Stefan. Hello to you.
Woo! Hello, guys.
Oh,
That's what we want to hear.
Well, everyone's been happy, but I think you have reason to be happy more than most. What a win!
Oh, Jesus. I am sweating so much.
We were kind of wondering whether you would, how much fighting you were going to do when Yogurt and Lumi caught up with you at the beginning of at the end of that second race. But in fairness, you did not just jump out of the way. You did put on a decent effort. Did you think, oh, well, that's it, done, they're just going to run off? Or were you thinking, no, penalties are still there, I'm hanging on in there? What was your thought at that point?
Well, at first I thought Lumi got a 30-second penalty, so I thought just let him go. But then I realized maybe that's a mistake, maybe that's a bug, something he can protest or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, oh, well, let's just use him as a buffer for Yogurt behind him. But yeah, I tried. I think I had Lumi one lap and Yogurt passed me on the second best opportunity. I really did the best, but nothing I could do against those guys. I think they were 1.5 seconds faster per lap. So yeah, I tried my best, but well, in the end, it was somehow enough. But I don't know. Crazy.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure I'm not the only one that was willing the underdog on. Whilst we commentate, let's be fair. Whilst us commentators try our best to remain impartial, we're human as well, and we root for people. And I defy any commentator out there to say that they don't. And I'm a sucker for an underdog, so I was really glad to see you take the top spot. Well done.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. It was absolutely fantastic. I was having an eye on the timings on the Delta timer every lap. Every time I crossed, on every short straight, I was looking up and I thought, oh, still 8 seconds. Oh, still 8 seconds. And then one of a sudden in lap 21, 22, they just came flying by 1 second per lap, and I thought, oh my god, how? Whoa. But yeah, I don't know. I think Yogurt had 3 or 4 extra seconds he collected in the last 2 laps or so. So, yeah, that was enough. Wow.
Either way, that number 1 goes to you. Thank you very much, Stefan.
Thank you very much, you guys.
I think we should have a chat with Strongest Avenger. What do you reckon, Matt?
Go on, let's have a chat with him, shall we?
Let's have a chat with the Aston Martin monster himself, Strongest Avenger.
Hey guys.
How much were you fighting your car?
I mean, it was more fight with the car than with the other guys, believe me that.
It looked, I mean, the amount of opposite lock you were putting into your thing, it was amazing. I mean, your pace is just insane. But how?
Yeah. I don't know. Thank you. But this is probably the worst track for this car so far. I thought it was the Long Beach that's not the good one. This one is really only the first sector where you can gain something. Everything else is just so horrible. I was just talking with the guys about it. I don't know. Like, the car can generate some aero grip, and like that's all. Like, that's what you get. You have to work with that. It's the chicanes and the really slow corners where you have to be really careful. If you overpower the car, you're gonna lose the rear and it's a game over. I actually did that once behind Dirty Air, but never mind. Spawned, lost some positions, got back.
Absolutely correct. And race 1, it took Yogurt a long time to get past you. Again, we were looking at, you would pull away, he would gain you. You would pull away, you would gain. That went on for a long time. So, was that just more sort of defensive driving? Was that just the differences in the car and how that works with the track?
Actually, our cars are very similar. The difference is, of course, I can be faster in the top speeds, where he's faster on the acceleration a little bit. But on this track, you don't have a lot of straights, so he has a little bit of an edge. And his pace is generally like half a second faster than mine, so I was holding him up. It was only the matter of time, really. I was trying basically to not overheat my tires too fast, so I could fight as long, basically, as I could. So yeah, at the end he passed me, he pulled away so quickly, Dynamo passed me, and that was it.
Well, still put in an incredible result and a great recovery drive as well in the second race. Any questions, Matt?
Funny enough, I was just about to ask, considering all the time penalties we've seen, how would you reckon your standing in the championship is looking now? Do you still feel that you've got a very, very strong chance? Because those Lamborghinis are really putting the pressure on.
Yes, I was chatting with Martin right now. I think we should be about leveled up right now, because Dynamo had a horrible race, the second one, and that should give me like maybe 15 to 20 points. We should be all level, the top 3. Yogurk won, so that's even like he's gonna enter the fight in the top 3, top 4 actually. So it's only Mu and Allen, I think. I don't know who's below, who needs to fight more for the victory. I mean, it's pretty close now.
Yeah, I dare say. So there's still plenty to fight for as we move into the second half of the championship. Great effort. Thank you very much. Strongest Avenger.
Thanks, guys. Great commentary. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, good sir.
Cheers, mate.
We need to chat to Martin. I think he's been waiting very
He's the last one.
patiently.
He's been waiting long enough, hasn't he? Go on, let's get him in.
Let's chat to AOR Stalwart, WMDR Martin.
Hello.
Here he is. Hello, old sir. It's been a while since I've had to chat to you.
Oh, wait, no, you're Kodak, yeah.
Well, how was that race for you?
Pretty interesting, I'd say. Managed to fight my way up to the front at the start, then I held up pretty much every single fast guy in the lobby for probably about 10 laps. That
must have been quite terrifying, because you had a huge train behind you.
It was, well, that part of the race was probably the most fun, actually.
Were you sort of conscious of the fact that you had a lot of people behind you, or were you just still concentrating on where you need to be?
Well aware that I had pretty much half the grid behind me.
It would be difficult not to, I imagine. Where were your thoughts before the race? Where were you putting yourself?
I just didn't really care as long as I didn't spin out and crash.
Well, achievement get. Good on good on you for that one. Any questions, Matt?
No, I think it's just basically to say the less mistakes you made in this race, the better your position was going to be. And I think that's just basically the case of the entire race.
Most of the race went fine up until about halfway when I got rear-ended by Alan, and that got me some suspension damage, which cost me about a second a lap.
Oh, it's always the way. But a great effort nonetheless. Thank you very much for your time, WMDR Martin. And that is going to bring an end to tonight's proceedings. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream. A great pleasure to have you on board. Thank you very much, Master Matt, for joining me for the second half of that. Who did I need you along for the ride? Thank you very much for that, sir.
No problem at all, and just have to look forward now to the rest of this championship, because this has provided two very entertaining races.
Very much so, very much so. Yorkie should be back in the saddle for next time along. Like I say, he was just standing in for him for this evening, and wow, what a championship to look forward to. Until then, you know where to find us for next time, next week. Same time, same place. Thank you very much, and good night.